Greetings from Dubai, the host of Expo 2020. The whole world is literally here. There are 192 countries participating. Lots of networking and marketing opportunities for participating countries. Lots of opportunities for those who are daring to dare abroad. In part one of the show, we will walk you through Kenya's pavilion. In part two of the show, you'll meet a very influential Kenyan chef by the name Cyprian Machango from Migori. He's been to almost every corner of the world. He is a former Sky chef, and now he's the head chef of 9 restaurants selling African food here at the Expo, and he's supervising 85 African chefs. We will also bring you interesting sights and sounds from the Expo. Welcome, my name is Alex Chamwada. If Dubai is a key tourism destination in the world, then the timing is even better for the City of Gold as it hosts the 6-month-long Expo 2020. The economic trickle-down can be felt across board, even among immigrants like Cyrus Mwangi, a Kenyan transport provider who has been living here for the last 9 years.
Mostly Kenyans, they come for spare parts. Yeah, because in Sharjah we have one of the biggest second-hand spare part markets.
Spare parts for vehicles.
Yeah.
Motor spare parts.
Yeah.
Cyrus has been helping my filming crew and I on logistics. Call him a fixer. And most important, taking us to and fro the Expo venue. World expositions are grand events of economic, scientific, technological, and cultural exchanges. The Expo takes place every 5 years for a period of up to 6 months.
Welcome to Dubai Expo 2020.
The first Expo was held in London in the year 1851. The Dubai edition kicked off in October this year and will go on up to the end of March 2022. For the first time, each participating country is allocated a pavilion, and Kenya's pavilion is manned by the Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency, KEPROBA. Austin Macheso is the director of the pavilion.
Kenya is located in the Opportunity District. Of course, as a country, we are looking at growing our economy, and that's why we chose opportunity, because we know we have so many opportunities that we want to showcase to the world in terms of trade, investment, and tourism.
African Union's High Representative on Infrastructure Development, Raila Odinga, is among the latest dignitaries to visit the Kenyan pavilion. He was taken around by Kenya's ambassador to the United Arab Emirates, Kariuki Mugwe, and Kenya's Consular General in Dubai, Ambassador Peter Mwendwa.
This is a great opportunity for Kenya to showcase herself, and especially the opportunities that exist in our country. We have 6 months within which we will be visible to the entire world. They anticipate about 25 million people will visit Expo 2020, and therefore this being a digital exposition as opposed to physical exhibition, then of course it gives us opportunity to showcase ourselves in the best way possible.
For Kenya to make a decision to come here is something that is very welcome, because it helps Kenya to showcase itself, what Kenya has to offer to the rest of the world. As they say that if you don't tell your story, nobody will tell it for you. So I think what I've seen here is fairly impressive.
Kenya's pavilion is a display of the country's opportunities in trade, investment, and tourism, and we now join the pavilion director for a quick tour.
this section, you will find some of the solutions in the innovation sector that Kenya has come up with, basically just to try and help develop solutions for some of the challenges that are facing the economy, especially in the agriculture sector. This Expo is about sustainability, and as part of our contribution to the sustainability theme for the Expo, we are showcasing what Kenya is producing in terms of green energy. This section is basically about the connectivity, the program that the government has to ensure that energy is provided to the entire country.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
This section is about EduTech. We are basically providing information about the solutions for school children that the government has provided.
fintech.
Yeah, fintech, Kenya is a major player in this area, especially the M-Pesa. Now, here we are telling the world that as much as there's banking, we have, as a country, very much advanced in terms of conducting business using mobile telephony. In this particular section, we are also showing some of the solutions that farmers are able to enjoy, especially through technology. We have various platforms or applications that have been generated locally, developed locally by companies. Yeah, we also have avocado, which is a major export for Kenya to this market. We are looking at also deepening our presence in the market, not just the UAE, but the entire GCC region. Kenyan avocado is very much loved in this market. So this is just another section within the pavilion where we are having documentaries playing on the screens, just to demonstrate our manufacturing sector. Yeah, Alex, and here we are showing our tourism opportunities. Come live the magic. Documentaries just playing, showing especially the wheelbase migration, which is a very great attraction to our tourists.
Okay.
And here we are showcasing our heritage, our 44 communities that make up the country Kenya. We are unified in diversity. For visitors just to appreciate the unity we have as a country. Visitors have learned about our communities as a country. We invite them to this booth, which we are calling Karibuni Nyumbani, where they have a session to interact with this tablet, which has certain details for them to log in. It's symbolic as a memento for them to remember Kenya when they go back. In Kenya, we name people based on seasons, the time of the day or night they are born, so that when they go out, they're able to a Kenyan name. So based on the details they log in, they'll get a name. It could be a name from Western Kenya, Central Kenya, or the coast. And then at the end of it all, the information will be channeled to them through their email address that they'll provide, so that they get what we are calling an electronic passport. So this completes their journey through the Kenya Pavilion.
My name is Josh Shishov. I visited Kenyan Pavilion and I like Kenyan coffee.
You like Kenyan coffee?
Yeah,
Why?
because it is very tasty.
Okay.
and it has very good smell and quality,
Yeah. You drink it in Russia?
of course. I drink it in Russia and I buy it in Russia and I have it always in my home.
I'm Paul, I come from Luxembourg. I'm quite impressed that your initiatives in the solar power, in the electricity project for everybody for 2021 will allow the youth to use electronic media to get knowledge, because knowledge is the basis for everything, it's the basis for development.
In the meantime, pomp and color is in plenty at the Expo, which sits on 4.38 square kilometers of land. This was once a desert, turned into what you can see. Al-Wasl Plaza is the most central place at the Expo, and this is where events take place.
Dubai Expo 2020.
You will occasionally meet robots, if not delivering food, monitoring your movements for the sake of your security.
Excuse me, give away for me.
Each participating country has been allocated a national day.
Kenya will be showcasing its National Day on the 16th of February, that is 2022. And we are not just hosting as an event, but we want it to be a celebration. So it's a celebration that is going to be conducted the whole week, starting from 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. Each of these days has a theme for the country. 14th being the Valentine's Day, a day of lovers. Of course, a lot of flowers normally are sold during that period. So we want to take advantage of that opportunity for us also to push our flowers in the market. Then on 15th, it's a day dedicated to the county governments, the regional economic blocks in the country. Then on 16th February is the National Day for Kenya, where we are going to, the leader of the Kenyan delegation, and hopefully will be the president, will deliver a keynote speech to the world. Then on 17th, it's more or less the climax for Kenya's participation at this event, because we have planned to host what we are calling the high-level business forum. And we are hoping that the leader of the delegation, who will be the president, will give a keynote speech during that event. Then on 18th, we have a very big community of Kenyans who are living in this region, not just in the Dubai, but the entire UAE and the GCC. So we already have a plan in place to reach out to all of them, to publicize the event. So we are creating this forum of the networking business forum, so that the Kenyan business people can interact with the Kenyans who are living here, so that they can also give them some tips on how to access these markets.
Indeed, if you don't tell your own story, who will tell it for you? On that note, we take a short break. When we return, you will meet a very influential Kenyan chef. He's been to almost every corner of the world. He's a former Sky chef, and now he is the head chef of 9 restaurants selling African food here at the Expo. Meet Chef Cyprian Juma Machango from Migori, Kenya. He is one of the proud beneficiaries of Expo 2020 Dubai. Little did he know that one day he would find a huge opportunity at such an international event. Cyprian is the head chef of a group of 9 restaurants here at the Expo.
It is the first biggest African restaurant to be set up abroad, I can tell you. We have 100% chefs from Africa, the whole entire restaurant, and we got this avenue to come through the Dubai Expo. This is a brainchild of one chef, Alexander, who comes from the West, Alexander Small. He is currently American and is the one who came up with the issue of putting Africa together, try to bring different food from all our African countries, put them together. So right now, I have 9 restaurants under this one roof called Al-Kibulan. And Al-Kibulan is a loose translation of the origin of mankind. So it's basically, we are trying to trace where the humanity began with the originality. And this is connecting to our African food, because we believe in Africa we grow food staple from the farm and they're so fresh.
Kenyan-born celebrity chef Kiran Jedhwa is among the chefs in this business. He has 2 restaurants here.
I have about 15 Kenyan chefs that are working directly under me, in a total of 85 number of the chefs that are running this restaurant. Majority of the chefs were hired locally, means they were already in Dubai and we reached out to them. But I have 4 chefs that we directly hired from Kenya through their online application. So we process all their visas and ticketing until they came here. Elizabeth here. Elizabeth is one of the Kenyan chefs that was directly hired from Kenya.
Nice to meet you. How are you? Poa sana.
Kazi njema.
Sare, fancy.
Cyprian is in charge of many things, including staffing, supervising the chefs to maintain standards, taking orders, budgeting, sourcing for foodstuff, and taking special orders. But he goes to the kitchen occasionally.
I've been a chef for 15 years now. My career started when I was working in the military, that is in Kenya, my home country. I worked for the Kenya Air Force for 9 years, and this is the same place where my cooking career began. So like we all know, military is a self-sustaining unit. We have every department for the system to continue flowing. We don't hire manpower from the civilians to come and help run the military. In that same framework, I was working in the admin, that is the administration, and I was supporting the system as a chef. So I worked in different ranks until the time I retired from the military. The training was basically from the military school. The military again has its own schools. which is supported with the civilian schools. So there's some part of the training that are coordinated by the military, and there's some part of the trainings that are coordinated by the civilian. So if they feel like there is some more training that is required for you, they can refer you to a civilian college where you go and continue pursuing the same training. So I trained in the School of Ordnance, that is in Kawa Garrison, and I graduated as a cook grade 1, that is a diploma in cooking and culinary. So after graduating from Kenya Army School of Ordnance, I went further to pursue culinary arts in Kenya Utalii College, where I graduated with the diploma, and I carried my career forward further after then working shortly in the military, then completely retiring to go and pursue what I do now.
Cyprian's dream to work abroad became a reality in 2013 when he got an opportunity to work at a hotel in Dubai as a chef, and that was his first destination abroad.
A lot was so different because, first of all, the system of work here is so totally different from back home. I felt like back home we are a little bit late, and here people work really thorough. They put a lot of pressure on the work, and again, from a family background, leaving your family, coming into a foreign land where you do not know so many people, it was a little bit challenging to cope up and to keep into the pace where you live a normal life like where you used to live back home.
As a husband, a father, Cyprian would eventually be joined by his family.
When I was leaving Kenya, I had already 2 kids, a son and a daughter, and at that point in time, my son was only 1 year old, so I was leaving my wife with literally a very young baby to come and try pursue greener pastures. They eventually came. In 2015, that is 3 years later, I had settled and moved. I changed a couple of work positions and employment, and I was in a position where I could now sponsor them, and they came over to stay with me. Raising a family here is so challenging. First of all, I would say the cost of living in Dubai is so expensive. Things are a little bit more expensive than back home. And because it is out of normal setup, not so many families live here based on the country's rules. It's not so easy, but we are still working around the clock just to make sure that it works. So you have work and your family to take care of, and a lot of things clash because you don't have so much time to attend to your family. So you have to create time because time will never be there anyway.
More so, according to Cyprian, money is never enough, even abroad.
The wages that we pay are equivalent to the earnings that we do. It is true we earn better, like 10, 20 times better than back home, but on the same measure, the bills are raging so high. Like for example, I will tell you I pay 20,000 Kenya shillings for my internet bill. Just internet bill is 20,000 Kenya shillings. And again, like for example, for the kids, back home we have schools which are government schools that are quite affordable. You can put your kids to school just so easily. Here, everything is almost like private, because if you're not taking your kids to a private school, they go to a government local school which is in Arabic language that they cannot fit in. So you have only one option, the private schools, and they are so expensive. They're like the international schools back home, which are so expensive. You pay like $500,000 school fee for a year for one child.
For Cyprian, money was not really the biggest factor that pushed him to dare abroad, but the experience, the exposure.
After the 3 years, the job that I landed, I was working with the Etihad Airways, which is a national carrier of UAE, and I was working as a sky chef among the very few sky chefs that we've ever hired. I think at that time we were 136 to be precise in numbers, worldwide sky chefs. So I was counted amongst them, and that took me really far away ahead with the dream that I wanted. I traveled the world, I visited so many countries. I had an opportunity to mingle with so many cultures and backgrounds, and the exposure was amazing. In my position as a sky chef, I was the first class manager because the plane has got 3 cabins for destinations that are well pronounced. So you have first class, you have business class, and you have economy. So I was a first class manager and taking care of the first class guests where they have silver service like a hotel.
Talk of the work of a sky chef, and this reminds me of Chef Kiran Jedwa when I met him on the Nairobi, New York, Kenya Airways inaugural flight, and coincidentally, he's among the partners in this group of restaurants. After discovering this place, my team and other Kenyans at the Expo, including the team from Kenya Export and Branding Agency that is manning the Kenyan pavilion, would never thought of any other place for meals. Only here. You can see the plates for yourself. All African, all familiar, all tasty.
We sell quite good number, up to 6,000 per day, because our restaurant is 600-seater, And we are very busy during lunch service between 11 o'clock until 3 o'clock, and dinner service between 5 o'clock until closing time, which is 11:30. We get super busy. You will not find seats around. Some people come even to stand and sit, eat on the benches because it's fully busy. We thought we would be so attracting Africans from themselves, but to our surprise, the Westerns are taking it, and our greatest clientele are even the Westerns who are quite not familiar with our food.
Again, what does this mean for Kenya?
Kenya is great as a country on its own because you can see we provide well-polished manpower that can be working in Expo, like myself. Expo is not all about displays. We are here working, earning to continue supporting our families at the same time, gaining more experiences.
And there are many in the hospitality sector who may want to be like Chef Cyprian. His advice is, go online, as chefs are in high demand here, but it is your skills that will earn you a job as you'll be competing with applicants from all over the world.
I would say help will not be in a way of trying to fix you in a job or linking you up with a job like playing a foreplay for you. The help that I can give you is just to try and give you referral. I know there is an opportunity somewhere, you can send your CV or you can follow up from that angle. Online is the best way and the only way to find jobs in Dubai because all the jobs that are posted online are real, they are not skirmishes, and you just put on a CV, you follow up with phone calls, and if you qualify, for sure you get an email invitation for an interview.
After the Expo, what next? Will this still be here? Where next?
Right. So TGP International, which is the company that is launched this all restaurant here, has got the plans to move forward after this Expo with this restaurant. So there is what we call legacy. After we earn legacy and we prove like this restaurant can stand, for sure it will be, and it's not going to be the end of everything.
Cyprian has been following the Daring Abroad show. He told me that him appearing on this series is a dream come true, as he has always longed to meet me. We had not planned for his interview. Little did I know about this restaurant. It just happened, and the filming began. It can only be God.
I told myself that one day I will have to be part of this, and one day I will get a chance to be covered. So when I saw you, it rang into my mind straight away, and I'm like, wow, this is the opportunity. I met the man that I've been seeing and I've been thinking about, and you know what? I will not hesitate to call a shot on that.
A dream come true.
It's a dream come true.
And this is Cyprian's parting shot.
Please come to Dubai Expo 2020, and please make sure you make a stopover at Al Kibolan African Food Hall. We are in Jubilee Park, and if you want to enjoy some contemporary food, some very authentic food that you can connect with from your background, this is the best place to come. I hear news like our president, Mr. Uhuru Kenyatta, will be visiting Expo. Please, when you come, I cordially invite you to come to Al Kibolan and come and try our foods as well.
What a daring journey of Chef Cyprian Machango from Migori, Kenya, a chef who's been to almost every corner of the world. He's a former Sky chef, quite inspiring. And on that note, we come to the end of the show. But remember, we have lots and lots of content from Expo 2020 Dubai. Special thanks to Kenya Export Promotion and Branding Agency, Keproba. And until we meet again next time, many thanks for watching.